Welcome to our Biohub. Today in this video we will learn about the basics of biological classification and the topics we are going to discuss are mentioned. Have a look. Now, what is biological classification? Biological classification is a scientific procedure by which we classify organisms into different groups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities among them. If we see the history of biological classification, we can see a massive evolution in the process of biological classification. Now, Aristotle, a famous Greek philosopher, was the first man who tried to conduct the process of classification in a scientific way. He used simple morphological characters in classification. He classified plants into herbs, shrubs, and trees. And he classified animals into anima and enima on the basis of absence and presence of red blood cells respectively. But this process was not well accepted due to less points for classification. Later, Carolus Linnaeus classified all living organisms in two kingdoms, Plantae and Animalia. The criteria he used for classification were cell wall, locomotion, mode of nutrition, response to external stimuli, and the contractile systems. But this two kingdom classification too did not distinguish between various characters of organisms. At 1996, Robert Whittaker attempted a broader system of classification. He proposed the five-kingdom classification. He divided organisms into prokaryotic Monera and eukaryotic Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. The main criteria used by him for classification were cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relation. Let's now have a look about all the five kingdoms. Monera. They are unicellular organisms with a prokaryotic cell organization. They don't have a nuclear membrane and they can be autotrophic and heterotrophic both. The kingdom includes various types of bacteria. Now, Protista. They are eukaryotes. It means their cells have a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Most of the protists are single-celled and they can be autotrophic and heterotrophic. An example of protist is amoeba. Now, fungi. They are eukaryotic multicellular organisms. We see them everywhere. A large type of fungi is mushrooms, which are more familiar to us. And they are always heterotrophic. An example of fungi is agaricus, whom we know as edible mushrooms. Let's talk about kingdom Plantae. We are very familiar with this kingdom. Kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll-containing organisms, generally called plants. Few members of Plantae are partially insectivorous and parasite. All the algae and plants are parts of this kingdom. Now let's come to kingdom Animalia, where all the animals belong. They are eukaryotic multicellular organisms. They lack cell walls. They directly or indirectly depend on plants for food. That's why they are always heterotrophic. As they digest their food, their mode of nutrition is holozoic. Most of them are capable of locomotion, like us. And all the animals belong to kingdom Animalia. Today, we discussed shortly about the biological classification of organisms. If you have any queries, you can comment below or mail us in the given email ID. And the video link for taxonomy or binomial nomenclature is given in the description box.